invited us to Brooklyn's Greenwood Cemetery as a place of your inspiration, which is, for most people, I would say, an unusual place to have a walk around. What is it about? What is your connection with the cemetery?
I feel so lucky to have this in my life at this moment. You know, there are places I bet you have in your own life where when you're in them, especially a natural place, it feels like it's a portal, ein Portal, to another world, which obviously a cemetery, you can imagine it more readily being that. But I live near the southern entrance, and I walk through those gates and something happens to me. I just become so integrated in my own being and calm.
There were all kinds of different memorable moments. I mean, I remember the first time I played at the Village Vanguard for a week, which is, you know, that's the jazz club for us, the historic. You know, I mean, also the Blue Note, but the Village Vanguard is something very special. So that was really an amazing moment.
Brecht and Weil was always my root repertoire. It was the beginning. It was way before musical comedy, before Cats, before Chicago, before Cabaret, before Peter Pan and all of that. It was my root repertoire. It was the repertoire which formed me as an actress. It gave me the expressionist style, the Berlin style, you know, the wake-up call to be out there in the world and to be an actor. So this is always going to go with me, this song repertoire.
The sort of energy of this city is a great inspiration for write something, and also, you know, the fact that there's so many interesting things here, you know, starting with the museums and with the people here and so on. It was very inspiring.
In the cemetery in particular, with this grandeur of trees and monuments, the way the light plays in different parts of the year, it lights all these monuments and trees and the pathway.
So it creates a special atmosphere?
Atmosphere is the word. And as a director of cabaret, I get inspirations that way. And yeah, so it's like a little scene, a mise en scène.
From there on, I explore different areas. You know, right now I love the tango. I learned all these fantastic songs by Astor Piazzolla in Spanish, and it's just an exciting universe.
Your viewers in the Bronx might be interested in the fact that a German artist called Uwe Mengel has done very important theater installations in an alternative art space called Fashion Moda in the South Bronx in the 80s, and we are going to reenact one of his most famous theater pieces called Woman in the Window, a sort of a criminal theater installation where there's a dead woman lying in the window, and that's a famous theater piece that has been done first in the South Bronx, and we will do it here next year, hopefully.
The Bronx has an equally fantastic cemetery named Woodlawn, which I recently visited for the first time, in which some exceptional, legendary American and world-loved artists, Duke Ellington, Miles Davis, Irving Berlin, they're all buried in Woodlawn.
Also the Bronx is a source of creativity and...
Yeah, I encourage artists in the city to find these places. They permit us so much reflection and about our lives, and you know, whether you're painters or filmmakers.
You know about the Lorelei fountain in the Bronx?
Oh yeah, this fountain was not erected in Düsseldorf because of anti-Semitic feelings there, and so it was shipped to New York and eventually put up in the Bronx.
Now the Bronx also have a big piece of art from Germany.
was asked by Sex and the City to write a piece for them. It was great. I mean, they used actually almost the entire episode. I was in some way involved in the music, but they specifically asked me to also write one original piece, solo piano piece for that scene with Sarah Jessica Parker and Mikhail Baryshnikov, where they go to that intimate dinner like at 1 in the morning.
I decided on a program. It's actually called Little Death Songs of Coming and Going, and it's in 2 acts. It's the sex act. And the Death Act, and it a year ago debuted off Broadway. We have a 5-piece band, and we're doing songs by, the oldest one is by Henry Purcell, the English composer, and then Franz Schubert, there's a piece, but also Jacques Brel and Leonard Cohen and Tom Waits. It's just a very eclectic world music show.
Yeah, I finished a book on Fifth Avenue, which is a sort of collection of, I think, 6 larger travel pieces. It's called Walks Through the Last Century. It's more like a sort of reportage with personal reflections and essayistic moments.
There's a lot of different projects I still want to do with my band. I've actually been asked to bring my trio to Argentina and write a whole set of my music and arrange it for orchestra. So we're going to fuse the jazz trio with the orchestra there, and so that's really exciting. That's something I always wanted to get into.
What do you think, if you now look back, about your song of The Little Mermaid that you did?
The Mermaid?
Yeah, because I think a lot of children fall in love with you through your voice and those songs.
Well, now having my own children, and I know how much it means to them to watch the Disney movies.
Ist man frei, dort ist man froh, dort scheint das Licht der Mond, dort lebt man anders als hier, drum wünsch ich mir.
It's very sweet, and I got a lot of mail, and they all thought, of course, I have very long red hair and a fishtail. I'm very good swimming down here. Little bra on, and cute like that. It's so sweet. I love children's emotion. It's the sweetest thing in the world. So.
Ich will's wissen, endlich wissen, ich bin gespannt. I'm a fast-moving gal, I like 'em slow.
It's high drama, and yet it's also so exquisitely simple, and it reminds me of what it's all about, how quickly we are going to be this and or like this in this state for a long time to come, and so to make the most of the days, and it has a very purifying effect on my thinking.
Faut oublier, tout peut s'oublier, qui s'enfuit déjà, oublier le temps des malentendus.
At the end of October 2001, it was short after September 11. Actually, it wasn't the end, it was beginning of October. It was the first joint theater that reopened after September 11. Everyone was still running around with, protection around their mouth and nose, and the city was, still shielded off downtown, and it was an unbelievable thing. We came on stage, and I started with the Brecht poem, To Those Born After Us, about the impossibility to create a peaceful place today, that humanity just failed uniting the spirits and uniting the souls, religion failed and all of that. It was a great poem written by Bertolt Brecht a long time ago, but it was the perfect poem in that moment to speak to the people, and I had tears, and everybody had tears. It was an unbelievable, spiritual and soulful moment at that time to perform so soon after September 11th.
Ne me quitte pas, ne me quitte pas, ne me quitte pas, ne me quitte pas, ne me quitte pas. Je ne veux plus pleurer, je ne veux plus parler. Je me cacherai là à te regarder.
Our documentary is called Defying Gravity, that artists go to break their limits and go to other countries, work there, be inspired of them. Did Ute Lemper defying gravity in her life?
Gravity, at the end of the day, always has to come inside yourself, you know, with what you choose to make out of your life, the choices you make, the people, the friends, you know, the man you have. The children are very important, and it is the peace you have with yourself which defines gravity. If you have that peace, I would say you can do anything, because nothing bad can be really bad, because there's too much good on the other side. And the great good thing is definitely love and passion and enthusiasm and just positive spirit and thinking.
Au large d'Amsterdam, dans le port d'Amsterdam, il y a des mains qui dorment comme des oriflammes le long des berges morts. Dans le port d'Amsterdam, il y a des mains qui mangent sur des nappes trop blanches, des poissons régustes longs. Montre des dents à croquer la fortune, à dévoiser la lune, à bouffer les haubans. Et ça sent la morue jusque dans le cœur des fris que la grosse main invite à revenir en plus. Puis je lève en riant comme un bruit de tempête, referme leurs braguettes et sortent en rotant. In the port of Amsterdam there are sailors who dance, haunches bursting their pants, grinding women to punch. They've forgotten the tune that their whiskey voice croaks, splitting the night with a roar of their jokes. And they turn and they dance and they laugh and they lust till the rancid sound of the accordion bars. And off to the night where the pride and the pants and the snot that the toe underneath the street lamp. In the port of Amsterdam there's a sailor who dreams, and he drinks and he drinks and he drinks once again. He drinks to the house of the whores of Amsterdam, where promised their arms to 1,000 of the men. They're bargain their bodies and their virtue long gone for a few dirty coins and weekend on. He plants his nose in the sky